Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Marquis Walker.
This is Juan Big Sexy Rodriguez.
How you guys doing this morning? How you or this evening or this afternoon, whatever time y'all watching this, man? Listen, man, we're gonna talk about this is passive podcast. First of all, this is episode 28. It's the BLM movement. It's the Black Lives Matter movement. We're still talking about it. We're gonna be talking about it until it dies down. And that's what we're gonna keep doing, man. We have our first guest here, Juan. Let's get him in and let's catch up with whoever's in the shiz at. Oh, okay. Welcome.
Hello.
How you doing?
I am
Now,
doing awesome. How are you guys today?
I'm doing pretty well. This is Juan. He's AKA Big Sexy, and of course, you know me, Marquis. How do you pronounce your name again? That's why I wanted you to come on earlier, but I don't want to mess it up.
Kyesha.
Kyesha. Okay, Kyesha. So,
Okay,
Kyesha. K-SoloDolo. I like that, yo. That's what's up, man. So, welcome to the podcast. This is the time we just say, how's everyone doing? So, since you're the queen here, we're gonna start off with you. How are you doing today? How's everything going?
Tonight I'm doing awesome. I have no complaints. It's nice and sunny. I made the broadcast. My tea is still heating up, and I'm ready to go.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So
now,
go ahead, Juan.
Oh no, I gotta ask, where did the K-Solo come from?
The K-Solo is because I'm always by myself.
Okay.
I do things alone. Where you gotta run by yourself. So
okay.
I just had it for a long time, and I won't let it go off my Facebook page because I think I'm gonna lose it. As soon as I erase it, someone got it.
Are you aware that K-Solo's a known rapper from back in the day? Okay. just wondering.
What was the song? That's your man. No, not today or something like that.
Well, they got one.
He got Light.
Well, you got one that's famous. Your mom's in my business. You got that one. You got Letterman. You got stuff like that he raps fast, and he's like one of those rappers that with a lot of vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. But yeah, welcome. So we usually talk about a couple. We are gonna get to the subject of Black Lives Matter and just Black Lives period or just anything period that has something to do with correcting what's going on. But we started off smooth and
kind of smooth. I was late.
Huh? What's that?
I said kind of smooth. I was a little late.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But what's going on in the news? You got any? What's going on in the news? Anything that you know?
I mean, right now they still talking about T.I. and Tiny's situation with these young ladies, how they was properly mistreated, taken advantage of with their whatever sexual relationship they may have had, quote unquote. So that's still going on. They're also talking about March Madness. I don't know if people are into college basketball, which started this weekend. How it's not the same interest as it is with the fans this year because of COVID, but no one could do. That's out of everybody's control.
True.
Also, I got to throw this in there. I read that today they was talking about Steve Harvey's daughter.
Oh, what happened?
She's dating Michael Jordan. Michael, what is it? B. Jordan. Sorry, correct me.
Okay.
Yeah, not the basketball player. How she's the article said how she belongs to this tree and he's trying to treat her like a lady because her past relationship been dealing with a lot of individual in the rap business that she's been passed around like a Philly blunt.
Get out of here.
Have you heard of that story? Have you followed that, Kyesha?
I've heard of the story a little bit, but I would want to go back to the March Madness story because where I would want to talk about is the difference between the women's locker, the women's weight room, and the men's weight room for the March Madness. Did you hear that one?
No.
The women's player, she took a video of what the women's training facility looks like as compared to the men's training facility.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different. So the women have nothing.
Women have less when it comes to
way less, like a small little rack of weights, whereas the men have the big weight
state
system.
of the art.
They said, I think tomorrow they're gonna make sure that the women's weight training room is adequate or sufficient to the men.
Now my question is this: is it all women's college basketball team that their weight room are like crappy compared to men? Because I figure UConn's women's college weight room will be phenomenal, seeing that they had a winning streak for a long time.
No, we're just talking about the March Madness.
Oh, okay.
March Madness, they're in a certain facility to do that. You know, due to COVID, you know, everything is different. So for their facilities for March Madness, as far as food and equipment, is way less. It's laughable.
That's yeah, they should correct that on the spot. They should be ashamed of themselves nowadays for that to even happen. You know that was gonna get out. Like you know what I mean? You know people talk, so I don't know why. Unless it's a money thing, I don't know how that works. One, is this something situated like that? Like this, if your colleges have certain money, certain people, if you're champions or not?
Well, it's a fact. Unfortunately, like men's football brings in the most. College football brings in the most money for colleges. Second is their basketball. Third, if I'm not mistaken, it's their baseball, and fourth is their women basketball. And I'm glad she brought that up about what's going on in March Madness, because you know, me being a father, having a daughter, you know, listen, if these women are going out there giving to me, I always feel the women give more than men. That should give 200.
Yeah,
because they feel like they have more to prove compared to the men. And if you're using these college students to make all this money, at least give them the proper tools that they need. There was a story a while back on ESPN of a young lady who transferred, I can't remember from what college, but she ended up in Oregon State because she busted her knee up, and the college she was in didn't want to give. She pretty much had to come out of pocket, got hurt during playing for the college, and they didn't want to take care of medical bills. Where Oregon State said, come here, we'll take care of your medical bill, and you got to give credit to the owner of Nike, because you know he's a big Oregon fan, because that's his college. So from my understanding, he took care of a college bill. But it also shows how women in women's sports, they don't get treated as men. Where if it would have been a men college, hey, top of the line, because you know. And I'm glad that they brought this up to light. But that's the first I've heard of it, though.
Yeah, the lady's name was Ali Krishna, a coach at Stanford. I guess they're in the Final Four for the March Madness. So she posted photos on Instagram, and it went viral, and people were complaining. And once they got a hold of it, then the head of the NCAA said they're going to make a change. But we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations for her speaking out and getting some justice. Now, my thing is, I used to always think colleges, and I went to college before, and I used to go to certain colleges, you know, visiting, you know, people's games. Maybe their son was in college playing games. I would go to a lot of college games. Now, I would usually see a universal gym. And that's why I was surprised that, you know, they got different gyms. I thought they always had that same nice big gym that was, you know, if you go to these big schools, they got these nice, as soon as you walk into the gym, on the side, right to the left or right, you see this big gym with glass, you know, you can see everything, and it's, you know, fantastic. But if they doing that to the ladies, they got to be ashamed of themselves. You know what I'm saying? To anybody these days. And that's what this show's about anyway. Things of that nature, you know, correcting injustice and stuff like that. And that's what the show's about. So we can get into the show.
Talking about it. And making people aware.
Exactly. So since that's kind of lead into the show, one was, you know, we go back and forth, and sometimes, you know, we get on a hot streak and we name titles and things like that. We talk about subjects. Juan decided to let's revisit, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement, you know, and I figured it was a great idea. We can talk about it every day if we had to. And I do talk about it every day in my life. I just don't, you know, we don't broadcast it every day. But so I did. We was talking about how, you know, what we want to do and what picture we wanted to use when we started, you know, advertising and stuff like that. So we used the most famous picture, or one of the most famous pictures in Black history. We used it was gold medalist Tommy Smith and bronze medalist John Carlos did the Black Power salute at the Summer Olympics on October 16th, 1968 in Mexico City. So it was like an action to be ingrained in their legacy. The iconic image stands for so much. And then I want this, bring a question, kick a question back to you guys, and then if whoever eventually comes to the panel. But what does that picture mean to you? You guys know the picture, the famous picture of them holding up their fists. It was rebelling because it was actions. They was going to was it strike? They was going to strike in the Olympics, but instead they trained so hard to get there, the blacks, that they found other ways to what is it called, to start the revolution, you know what I mean, or to strike, right? So they got there and they did things like that by holding their fist up, and that was one of the most famous pictures in history. What do you guys think about that picture? What do you guys think about that moment? And that was like straight up in the civil rights moment, and that was a big thing. That was huge for them. They could have got lynched or killed. You never know. So that was huge to do, to be outspoken like that. A lot of people are heroes. Those are our heroes, the ones that speak out and for injustice when they're not. They shouldn't usually. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be quiet, right? So 1968, man. What do you guys think about that photo and that whole movement and those two guys, Tommy Smith and John Carlos? Anybody want to?
Wow, they were brave. That's all I could say. I mean, that was a tough time.
I say, to me, I love that picture, as me and you spoke off camera, and I think it's a beautiful sign, because also the Black Panthers use that same fist up in the air, and it shows all the movement, struggles that we're still going on today. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, other than European/white. Every ethnic group is going through struggles, and to me, when I see that, it in a way brings chills down my spine, because who would know that what they did back then is still looked upon today? That even young individuals who have no idea what was going on, they know about that picture.
Yeah.
To me, that's more powerful than any word. Again, like you said, you can look at that picture, you can interpret it many different ways. The struggle for equality, injustice. A perfect example, like what the women are going through in the NCAA March Madness, with the locker room situation. So you could pretty much put that picture in any scenario to give people motivation and hopefully hope, a beacon that, hey, together we stand. We could hopefully change a lot of these situations we're going through right now.
You're right. It was an iconic photo, and you got to think about it. It is still going on. Like, for them to stand up and do that was a rebellious thing to do. It's something similar to, I don't want to like compare it to, like recently when LeBron and them was in a bubble in the basketball season, and they kind of struck. They was gonna strike in the bubble. They was not gonna play because of the racial matters that are happening today. But it's I commend all those brothers and whoever shut down the NBA and made that statement. So it's kind of similar to that. It's powerful, right? Something like that, right? Similar.
Something like Colin Kaepernick. Okay, you got to help me with his last name. Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick. Yes, yeah, he did the same thing. The thing is, there's huge consequences for doing it. It's a brave thing to do, but it's huge consequences that follow. Even for Tommy, even for Colin. For anyone who wants to speak out for anything these days.
But I love what Kaepernick did, because he could have never took that knee and still continue to make these millions of dollars, but he felt what he was doing was more important than the money. Think about all the millions of dollars he lost.
Oh yeah.
But look, the legacy he's going to leave behind.
Yeah.
As a movement, which now a lot of people are seeing, like the kneeling wasn't about the flag, it was about the injustice. And unfortunately, the media, especially the white media, tried to twist it to make it seem a certain way. And I'm glad that a lot of individuals around the world seen through it and be like, no, that wasn't what he was talking about.
Same thing with Smith and Carlos in '68. They did the same thing, and it was viewed negatively. And they're still going to have a legacy, but they lost a lot. They couldn't make no more money after that, I'm sure. you know, so it's a repeating effect. It keeps happening. Whoever stands up, you know, you're the first to go. I guess, you know, or to suffer the consequence.
No, you usually
so in Kaepernick's case, though, I got to big up controversial Nike, because you know Nike's always in controversial with them doing positive, but still having the sneakers made in China for poverty pay over there. But you know, give Nike props for still endorsing him and doing posting his posters around for the injustice. So you got to give Nike credit for that. Unlike before, these companies now are on board with, hey, you're not gonna just out them and make them look like a black sheep. No, we're gonna put more light to it, and which forces, especially the NFL owners, to address this issue, especially when your athletes are 85, 90% black.
Exactly. You're right. You're right, man. Like, you know what it is? It's just, you know, everybody knows at the end of the day, money talks. And if, you know, these big corporations or whatever's going on, whoever got the money basically gets in line or gets behind some of these Black Lives Matter movements or just like things in general, or just causes, just anything that leads and it's positive to the movement or to improve racism. You know what I'm saying? All that works. You know what I'm saying? All that helps. But usually it's usually that money one. That money speed, like you said, Nike comes out, they support them. Because at first, I think they take the deal back. Did they?
No, they never took the deal back. They just didn't promote them as they would have prior to that.
Prior to that, okay.
They had him on the shelf, but they never terminated his contract.
It's like they didn't know what to do with the toy or something, basically. Like, you know what I mean? He's a product, right? So, and then like, you know, then it was like, oh, okay, you know, we can probably profit off this. And I'm not sure if that was I'm guessing that was one of the main reasons, because they made probably billions of dollars off that jersey. I got the jersey. I even bought the jersey.
I don't mean to cut you off, but they also had a limited edition of Kaepernick sneakers by Nike also. So they did make profit off.
So they was banking.
Yeah, the Air Force One, for those who might not be aware, Nike threw out a limited edition of the Kaepernick Air Force One. So they did make profit.
I didn't even know that.
Capitalism lives.
What's that?
Capitalism lives.
Capitalism, yeah, lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do want to shout out because we got BLM, Black Lives Matter, and the title. What I wanted to shout out was the founders. The founders are Alicia Gaza, Patrice I think it's Colliers, and an Opal Tomati. I hope I'm saying their names right. These queens are gonna kill me, right? But basically, what happened was in I think it was 2014 when you know, a call for action. You know, Alicia Gaza wrote just a post on Twitter and social media that she was just talking about she loving black people, blah blah blah. Then she kind of said Black Lives Matter, and then her friend Patrice, she just made it a hashtag, and then it kind of blew up. And then like that's what people started quoting and saying. And so, you know, shout out to those women, those three women. Hopefully I said their names right. And you know, that's just what it was. I just want to shout them out, you know, at least for starting the movement and kind of like getting the name out there and getting the action out there, because it's worldwide. This like Black Lives Matter is not just in, you know, United States. It's in, you know, Paris, it's in London, it's in you know, Tokyo, it's in places that you wouldn't, you know, it's international, it's worldwide.
It's everywhere now, yeah.
Yeah. So because there's black people everywhere. And it's not just black, when you say black people, it's just not black people, it's Hispanic, it's you know, Colombian, it's just everybody that's not white. So that's getting treated wrong. You know what I mean?
And also, you know, I hope that it continues, because, you know, that's why I want to talk about it. Also, it feels like the media is trying to like downplay it now, where there's still injustice going on, and they try to use like for one time when we had President Trump in, try to use him to pretty much downplay Black Lives Matter. Like right now, March Madness is trying to put that on the main front to try to downplay Black Lives Matter. And I hope that the movement still continues and people just don't let it fade away or die down.
Yeah, like I was watching just some, you know, like sometimes you're meant to watch something, you just catch something and you just leave it on. So I was watching something and just happened to be on something about Black Lives Matter. It was just talking about how, you know, when, you know, President Obama was president, how, you know, the racism kind of like flared up, you know what I mean, kind of sparked movement of racism. It was always there, but it kind of came out the closet, right? And then when Trump took over, it got a little worse because he is what he is. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's a terrible man. And when he was saying he's the law and he's going to be a law abiding, for the law president type. I forget how he said it, but he's all about the law and get
law
police.
enforcement.
Law enforcement. Yeah, he would say, I'm the law enforcer. I'm the law enforcer candidate. And I think that's what got him over. That's what made him win. And then all them racist people came out and voted for him. And it's probably more than we think that got him over that hill to be president, man. So that's why this is going to be a continuous conversation,
for years to come.
Years to come, So you're right.
Well, if you think about it, it's actually started since Martin Luther King, Malcolm X back then. It's just at some point it died down. And now with the past couple of years, unfortunately, these Black individuals that had to lose their lives to bring attention back to it, it's continuing with more steam.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, good.
And also, like you were saying, it doesn't just pertain to people who are Black, anybody who's ethnic. Because a good example is, let's bring up what happened in Georgia with the Asian community at the body massage place, where a white individual went in there, killed, unfortunately, a bunch of Asian people. And something that made me upset that I spoke to you about was the sheriff who spoke was trying to downplay and not make it seem like a racial motivation. He was trying to say that the individual had a bad day. And when you
preference or something issue.
Yeah. And then when they looked up at that sheriff or police officer's profile, you see his own little racialness come out. But since then, he deleted those posts. You know how that goes.
Yep.
But I'm guessing we all have bad days. I don't remember. I'm speaking for myself. I don't remember thinking about getting me a semi-automatic weapon and shooting somebody of a different color just because I'm having a bad day or because of my preference. How about y'all?
Kyesha, what about you? You feel about that situation?
I've never thought about killing anyone for anything. I mean, I have my own struggles, but the thing, just to go back to Black Lives Matter, in anything that has to do with Black Lives Matter, it just seems like as soon as it's the word Black in it or Black Lives Matter, then they criminalize that, or they make it look like it's something that that's not supposed to matter. Like everything else matters, but not Black Lives Matter. And that's discouraging to me as a Black woman. But to get to what happened in Georgia, again, any hate, I don't condone any hate. I wouldn't condone any hate at all, or say for anyone to go kill anybody. But I believe like the Asians have their own kind of base of support, and they might have a little bit more than us, and we couldn't go ahead and support them. I'm fine with supporting. I have stopped the Asian hate on my Facebook page, but then when I thought about it, I just wondered, and I'm thinking back, like when which we go through as a community all the time, when we go through things. Do you recall any of your Asian friends who put like the Trayvon Martin little thing, or said Breonna Taylor or George Floyd? Did any of them, use their platform as something to say, stop racism or stop hate against? And I'm not saying this should go tit for tat, but I'm just saying as communities, we need to all be in when it happens to anybody and not just single out, oh, it happened to the Asians, it happened to the Hispanics, it happened to the white people. That matters. That's making TV. It happens to the Black people. Oh no, they're spoiled, like they do this to themselves, or that type of like mentality. So I'm supportive of it, but I just wanna I do just want to point out, as a sister, I have Asian friends and I love them, but I didn't see any of them that I know put that Trayvon Martin, the little hooded face, dark face on their thing, just in support of, you know, we just not, you don't have to say anything, put a picture up, anything like that. I like to see that before we go full-fledged forward, you know, trying to defend someone else. When we're in the hot water, they're sitting back watching TV, seeing what's next gonna happen. Like, you know, what's gonna happen to them next.
No, I 100% agree on that. Like, I don't, in my history, I don't see a lot of, you know, outcry for the black movement or our movement when it comes to Asians. I really don't see that. But like, but you know, our black people on earth we're just like the most humane people. We're the most God loving people. We're the most forgiving people. So if you know, so right now we're talking about the Asian community in the situation that happened because we care for people. We love everyone. We love white people too. Because we're the first ones to forgive them. We're the first ones to forgive them, even if they killed our son or our daughter. You know what I mean? They're like, we're on the news like, I forgive them, and I, you know, the Lord and God and stuff. We're the first one to do that. Yeah, but you don't really see a lot of the Asian community do support the black community because, like, back in my days, yes, you know, you go to Chinatown, all these Asian stores, hair stores, or whatever, they treat you like garbage, but they want your money, and then usually those are the only stores around our way, and so that's the only place that we got to go get the stuff that we need. You know what I mean? So we get treated like I used to get treated like crap by these Asians, and I
they
still would have to
watch you.
buy.
They walk around behind you, like, you know,
the money.
like,
yeah. But you know, I think it's good that we do support them because it hopefully opens up their eyes. Like, man, look how we treated their movement, but they're still showing love to us. And hopefully we open up, we all know realistically not everybody's eyes are going to open, but if some people's eyes open, be like, wow, and have them reflect on themselves for not supporting the movement. And when it happens to them, they see all the love from Black Lives Matter going to them. They can see like, whoa, hold on, we're not doing something, like you said.
A good point.
They need to support us too. And it shouldn't be a tick for tack. It should be like, if anybody other that's dealing with this passes away, we should all be
there. Right. Yep. If you're going through any type of, whether you're white, black, Spanish, or Asian, like we all get behind to help each other. And when all those agencies and things get together, like the Asian American Agency, the Hispanic American Agency, the Black Lives Matter, get together, like, it's unstoppable. But without you know, us uniting, I don't know.
I got a question, right? So I'm guessing like actions, you know, through individuals like ourselves, right? You know, is there anything, you know, individuals can do on their daily basis to, I guess, to eliminate racial issues or eliminate racism, or is it white America that has to change, like, and then, you know, that's where it starts? What do you guys think?
Well, I think first of all, I think communities, because, you know, I was, you know me, Mark, I consider myself 100% black.
Yep.
So I feel that it starts with the communities first. Like, if our community get together, because you have to get the community together first to say, listen, we're not going to deal with black on black crime. Let's first control that so we can focus on these bigger issues with white America that's keeping us down to a certain degree. Because, you know, if it's me and you walking down the street, they already got their eye on us. Where, because I've seen it too, where I see a group of white individuals together, police just drive by them. Me and you walking, they slowing down, trying to figure out what them two up to. And we could just be going to the corner store. So, you know, I think at first the communities have to be put together and then reach out to other communities so we could try to force a change on white America. Because white America is not going to change unless everybody unites in one. Like when they did all those marching, you see, all of a sudden now they're forcing police officers to have body cams. Cannot turn them off. You turn them off, we got some questions, and the people want answers. And you see how quickly they're trying to settle these big lawsuits because they know if they go to a jury, 85% of them will be ethnic people, and the other 15 who are white may be still part of the movement and be like, no, they want $1 million, we want to give them 10 million. So if you hurt their pockets, that's when they really feel it the most. So I figure we all have to start small with communities and branch out together. If we don't move as one, unfortunately, it's going to be a very difficult uphill battle. That's my personal opinion.
And I think in order to start with the communities, you got to start with the politicians. You start with the city councilors first, you know, and who we are electing, who are the communities that we're electing. In like the woman who did in Atlanta, who changed changed it from a red state to a blue state. She did
Yeah,
a lot of footwork. She did a lot of going out and speaking to people. So if we get the votes in to the right candidates who's going to make changes, then we can do it. But there's a lot of payoffs as well, a lot of bribery, a lot of, you can think they're going to say one thing and get in there and they have a whole nother mentality or game plan. So it's an uphill battle.
No, you're right. I think every person has an individual fight with the situation of racism, and everyone fights their own pattern of racism or wherever they're at. You know, if it's at work, or if it's at, with their friends, or if it's what, wherever they're at, wherever, there's, if they just bought a home. Like recently, I was talking about this. I was talking to Warren just off screen real quick, but home insurance companies, and I don't care if I say it, but home insurance companies, if it's a white guy or something, they probably, they're not really, they'll let them probably get away with murder with the stuff that they don't, they need to fix on their house. But when they know someone black or someone of that community or someone of our community, wants to own something, they, they're nitpicking about, stupid, silly stuff that you're wondering, like, why didn't get the last person on all this stuff? But all of a sudden now, for me, it's a laundry list. So there's a lot of things like that.
Cut the trees is one of the good ones. They get you cut the trees over your house. It's not even on your property. It's been there for all these years. Now
I had to cut a tree. Yep, I had to cut a tree. Then I had to do some vines. I cut the vines in the picture. So it's just stuff like that. Like, so it's like what I can do is probably just continue to try to have a good heart and have a and bless people and try to like be positive and be an optimist and try to like help my circle and do shows like this. So spread the word. If I learn something, teach it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you get your circle tight, and like something like what Juan was saying and you were saying, it's like it's your community. Once you figure out you have a good heart and you want to do something, then if you think your circle has that passion, then y'all work with that circle, and then that circle gets bigger and goes local, goes to the government, and it goes to here, because we all know somebody in the government. We all know somebody that works downtown. We all know somebody that works as a police officer. We all know somebody that's a lawyer. So we are those people. You know what I'm saying? So I think we can work together and figure that out. Like individually, we can like y'all said, it starts small. I think everybody plays a part. White, black, green, whatever, alien. You know what I'm saying? And then we gotta like spread that love. It's just all about love over hate, I believe. And it might sound simple and silly, but it really is, man. You gotta like have patience with people, and you gotta like think like, okay, this person's me too. This person's me. The person I'm yelling at, want to kill, scream, or whatever, this person's me too. This person has feelings, so you gotta like kind of like, like have a lot of patience.
In their shoes.
Yeah, and be kind of put yourself in their shoes, but at the same time, you gotta understand everybody's struggle, and then hopefully come to an agreement. And my whole thing, I think white people have a huge job, a big job. They just need to she got one of the dogs out, but they just need to stop being racist, man. Plain and simple. Which dog is that one?
This is Nippy.
It's Nippy.
This is Nippy, named after Whitney Houston, one of my favorites.
So I can see it's a Chihuahua.
A miniature pincher.
Oh, okay.
It's a mixed breed.
But I'm tired of like y'all was saying earlier, I'm tired of like the peaceful marches. I know they're needed. They do change laws, they do things. So I commend them too. But I did that. I used to march all the time. E1 and Free My People and all these other organizations. We used to march and do all types of stuff, take over boards and get books for schools. And I'm tired of saying their names. I'm tired of saying George Floyd's name, Breonna Taylor's name, Trayvon Martin, 2004 Erica Gardner, where it kind of really started the Black Lives, Freddie Gray, Michael Brown, etc. Those names, what's next? Whose name is next? Marquis Walker, Juan Rodriguez, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just we're tired of saying those names, and we need to change, man. We need to figure something out. If it's local, statewide, worldwide, but anything helps, I would say. What do you guys think?
I think you're right. How to start it, I don't know where we're gonna begin. Again, as soon as we try to get together, it's always an infiltration, and it's always a way to make it look like it's a bad thing.
Well, see, that falls on us then. Just because in any organization, there's always going to be infiltration. We know that. And as long as the majority of the people still keep pushing forward, it shouldn't stop. Like, perfect example, it was great. We've seen all those marches. They stopped. It's great that they where we live, they did the sign, you know, BLM, Black Lives Matter, real big. And that was great, but then it slowed down. And I'm sure there's still activists out there pushing for it, but I think we need to, like you said, go to these politicians and be like, hey, listen, every month, on this weekend, we need to be protesting nonstop until changes are put in stone and in books where we could physically see them, not just, hey, guess what? You know, they sugarcoat it. I'm going to add this law, you know, pacify us, and we'll be okay. No. I want the police to live in fear like they want us to live in fear of them.
Yeah.
Anything, because we pay their salary. Anything that they do wrong, I want them. I don't care if you wear a badge. If you kill me, you should be looking at the death penalty too. If it's not justifiable.
Yeah, you're right. Shout out to Zebo Jones. What up, though? He's a manager and a producer of a couple artists. So look out for Zebo Jones. Follow him on Instagram. But thanks for coming in the chat. And whoever else is in this chat, y'all can talk too. They in here, but they being quiet. But yeah, man. Like I just you know, I can't breathe any more racism. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I want to take that title of, you know, Eric Garner. Like, I'm tired of saying those things, or, you know, say her name, Breonna Taylor, like those things. You know, it's great that we can get out there and we promote and we strike, we do all this stuff, but it's got to be something like you said, sketched in stone. There got to be some type of steps. Like I remember, like I don't know if y'all read it. I read a couple. I didn't read the whole thing, but Ice Cube came up with a plan, you know, and he was giving it to Trump at the time. And people were saying Ice Cube's a traitor, Ice Cube's this, Ice Cube's that. It fell out, but Ice Cube was actually, he had a plan. If you really read it and like look into it, it's about getting people that are struggling money, and which is probably our community, right? So and it's just trying to get us on a even playing field. That's what the whole agreement was. And it was, even if he's putting it to Trump, it was throwing it to Obama or throwing it to the new President Biden. And you know, he's just trying to help. He's trying to, I don't know if you guys ever looked at that agenda that he had. Anybody ever look at that?
No.
I can't say I have.
But yo, check it out. Like, go look at it and see, like, you know, eventually. And then, you know, a lot of people, like, what y'all think about it? Did y'all think Ice Cube was a sellout when y'all was like, oh, this guy's talking to Trump? Oh no, like, what was y'all opinion on that?
Well, I can't speak on it because I haven't read the article, and I know Ice Cube's always been for the people, so I can't like bash him without getting my facts straight. So right now, I have no opinion on it. So the people can say what they want, but if you don't do your research or your homework, then you're just feeding into the ignorance that they want us to feed into. That's my opinion.
No, you're right. You're right. I think Kyesha, did you hear about that Ice Cube thing? Or
I did, and I'm looking it up now, but I can't get through it quick enough. So
no, it's gonna be like the document that he submitted. You know,
I'm not seeing the document, but I'm looking at the backlash, and you know,
the backlash
he was trying to explain what he was thinking.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ice Cube had he's a good heart. You know what I'm saying? I think he's one of those MCs, one of those human beings that actually cares about not just the movement, but he cares about people in general, and he just wants everybody to be on the same playing field. So I didn't think I read most of it. I didn't get to read all of it, and then it was being revised and it was being done over and stuff like that. So because to everybody's standards. So think about you present something. Somebody reads something and then they might not agree with maybe 25% of it, so they go back and forth until it's complete. So I don't know if they're still working on it with Biden. I don't know if he introduced it to Biden. Hopefully he did, and just hopefully more things like that occur to help us. And I think so things like that need to put the stamp on it. And they need to say, okay, this law is gonna pass, or y'all gonna give this much money out to this community because Flint, Michigan, or something. Maybe they that was on there. Fix Flint, Michigan. I don't know. New Orleans or something. But it needs to go. That money needs to go certain places so we can all be on the same playing field.
I think also too,
the platinum plan. Sorry.
Oh no, that's go ahead.
It was called the platinum plan.
Yeah, that's what it's called, the platinum plan. Yep. So what you gonna say?
I think one of the things that we could do also to change, I think they need to put in law, like how every 4 years we get to elect an official to represent us.
Yeah.
I think we also need to do that with judges because in the past I've read, even currently, article about judges who I seen a white individual commit the same crime as a black individual, get a quarter of the time compared to the black individual. And it was the black individual's first time in front of the judge. With the white individual, this was probably like his 6th time. So I think hopefully in the future, the president put into stone that, hey, every 4 years, just like we get elected, a judge gets elected. And I guarantee you that'll help the movement even more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you got Kamala Harris in there, like, not to say, she's a black woman and she's going to start dominating and getting things done. But prior to her being the vice president, she had something to do with some of that stuff that you're referring to about, judges and blacks getting stronger sentences and stuff like that.
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully she's changed. Hopefully she's on the right page of the book, man. And hopefully she's on the right side of the movement and she put some stuff in movement for the black people, black community, and whatever community.
Well, unfortunately, I see her as you know how to say, a cheetah can't change his spots,
Mm-hmm.
So to me, she just happened. Me personally, I feel like she just happened to maneuver herself in a better position, given Biden. We all know he's not in the greatest health because, a gentleman who picks up his dog and breaks his leg, the signs tell you that he's not in the greatest shape.
Yeah.
So I think she positioned herself for whatever benefits she wants, but I haven't seen her do anything as a vice president. I haven't heard her say anything currently as a vice president. So until I physically see it put in stone and done, to me, I'm going to consider the same person who still wants to incarcerate ethnic people with hard time and things of that nature.
And I'm going to second that.
No, I third that, man. Like, it's all about action, man. Like, and that's it, man. You can talk a great game. Everybody knows that, who got the best game. Pimps talk a good game, man. But at the same time, they action too. So you don't got that money, they smacking you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking around.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, like, they take action. It's like, and it's just I'm just want to give it a little humor to the show, but it's just the same thing with anything, any subject. We can talk all day on this podcast, but when we get off, if we just, drink a beer and smoke weed and scratch our balls, it's not you, Kyesha, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
hopefully not you, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Then, we're not doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta, like, when we have opportunity to fight, we should do it. Even if it's at work, even if it's at risk your having your best friend, or risk whatever, you should stand up for what you believe and stuff. So hopefully people are doing that,
Yeah, that's why I encourage people when you see these local politicians just trying to get in office, especially from your local neighborhood that do good, vote them in, because that's how you start. You get them at the bottom of the barrel, and they appreciate that, and they already know the struggles because their family is going through the same struggle, and that could hopefully start a change reaction that keeps working its way up. Like, don't be surprised in the near future. Hey, who knows? Maybe I might run for it because I got a good shot just like anybody else. You might see vote for Big Sexy.
Right.
So I the other question I had was and it might be a broad question, but how can is there any way we as a community can change white America's opinion on just the or is that something that's just they continuously speak hate, teach hate to the next generation, and you think that's going to go on forever? Like, is there anything we can do, or what do we do for something like that? How do you control a whole culture that's been billionaires based off the being racist, because they make money off us being killed, or us being incarcerated, or us being just the racism in general. So how do you stop there? Maybe get them some new money. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, You see what I'm trying to say? Like, what do we do?
I don't think we can do anything. I mean, really. I mean, we had a whole black president, and we have good people all the time that speak for us. And it's the same thing. Every day, the same struggle.
I think I'll have to disagree. I think we could start with supporting black businesses. First of all, we all know statistics. How long does black money last in our neighborhood?
Not long. Seconds.
Exactly.
Seconds.
And when you look, I'm gonna use like the Jewish community. How long does their money last in their community?
I think an average of 3 to 5 days or something like that.
So if we start at ground zero supporting our local black-owned communities, instead of making the white counterpart richer when we invest in ourselves, it start at the ground level. It's a start where it's like, okay, where now these small black businesses could grow, offer more job opportunities for black individuals, and help that brand grow where now they become a power player in the big boy industry, whether it be male, female, whatever industry, something that can have a big impact where they see like, hold on, how come one of the things that discourages me is, why can't we buy something named, I just say Joe Schmo clothing that's from the local neighborhood, but if say you want to spend $300 for a Gucci belt from somebody who obviously don't give 2 cares about you.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's made at the same location. All you paying for is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why you want to look wonderful and you look at your environment and it still looks horrendous, instead of saying, well, you know what? Let me put money back into my horrendous neighborhood, make it look wonderful, and then and you can still look decent without name brand.
No, you're right. Zebo Jones says the same thing. It's like he says, get these rappers. I get the point what he's saying. He said, get these rappers to wear our brands and not the Dior and the whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, he's saying the same thing, man. Get not just the rappers, but get everybody to support the black community. I sell merch. So support me. Maybe Kyesha, what do you sell? Do you sell anything? Do you have
I don't
anything?
sell anything yet. I'm just selling my personality right now.
There you go. So and that's the thing. Every day, you know what can happen after this. It's like you can, shine off this show of, you know what I'm saying, somebody can see you and then they can offer you a position. I was offered a position, man, Juan, but the pandemic kind of shut that down for a radio show. But you never know, it could come back. I don't know what's gonna happen. But you know what I mean? Like, you just never know. You just gotta get connections through this. You get connections through social media, you get connections through, podcasts and just saying your opinion, because someone might say, "Oh, I love this girl here. I can use her in I don't know what a new show that's coming on for, I don't know, BET or whatever, ABC or something. You never know. Or podcast.
I am interested in maybe developing or making some type of like a marijuana sweet tea, like making my own brand to sell. I'm gonna figure out if I wanted to be some type of ailment or if I just wanted to taste good, like, down Dudley Silver Slipper sweet tea. If I just wanted to be a sweet tea, or if I wanted to be
both. Do both.
Let me cut you off. Before you copyright it, don't say anything yet. Just say you got some ideas ahead, because you don't want nobody stealing your ideas.
Oh no, she can mention it, but I think she just got to now it's putting pressure on her to get going. So, with the name and with the whatever. Yeah, I think you can do both. Like, it could taste good, and then it could have natural ailments for people and stuff like that. Or you can split it up. You can say this one's for the ailments and this one's for the taste, or a little bit of both. And this is another place you come for ideas, because eventually people start writing in the description, they're writing in the comments, and they tell you what's going on. You know what I mean? We call our chat room. It's not going crazy today, but maybe because of the subject. A lot of people don't like to talk about Black Lives Matter. They rather have, we do have fun topics too. We talk about movies, and we talk about whatever it is that's gonna be fun. But those are usually the ones that's more chatty and people hanging out. But we usually call our
this is a tough subject.
It's a tough subject. It's a tough subject. But I'm glad we got the people that we do have here today in the chat room and stuff like that, and and listening. And if eventually people will watch this, they they curious, but they watch it later. I just know how my fans are. But yeah. So what other subjects you guys want to talk about? We got a good 10 minutes. We can talk about some more stuff. We could talk about anything else. If y'all want to go on a lighter note, or y'all want to keep diving into this.
Well, let me make people laugh. So a while back, I was talking about something, and let me show people. It's called the red Kool-Aid. I found it, like I was telling Mark.
Yeah. Hey, Kyesha, so on our other podcast, if you've been watching this, like Juan's, for some reason he couldn't find what kind of Kool-Aid was it?
It was the 25-cent fruit punch, the nice one, not the watered down version. The one I remember as a kid that made your jaw lock up in the back when you made it.
That's because there was some lemon in there.
That's probably what it was, Juan. Yeah, so he finally found it. He finally found his Kool-Aid hunt. He found his Kool-Aid, so the hunt is over. Juan is no longer in need of Kool-Aid. We was asking people online, like, yo, where you find this Kool-Aid?
You got to mix that fruit punch Kool-Aid with some Tang, and then it's gonna blow your mind.
I never did that. See, I was reminiscing when I was a kid with the Kool-Aid. So I got my Kool-Aid today, so I got my fix. So it'll be good for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I never thought of that. Tang and Kool-Aid, huh? That's interesting. That got to be mad sweet though. That got to be like you probably like running around doing backflips. Shout out to
you're not gonna put as much. You're just gonna do 1 and 1.
Yo, shout out to Matic. I know that shit's Matic. That's one of our friends, man. 25-cent fruit punch, shaking my head. He's shaking his head at Juan. He knows him.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Shiz? What's good?
With Tang, but she didn't say what flavor. So you got to give us the chemistry here.
Yeah.
When I copyright it. Since you guys don't know nothing about that, I gotta wait.
Okay. Because you saying, so I'm like, okay, which flavors do I mix now?
It's the fruit punch and the Tang.
Oh, both.
Tang is the orange.
It's the regular Tang, yeah, the original Tang one.
The original one. You can't find it no more.
Yo, Zebo said that's Flavor Aid. Yo, Flavor Aid is like the watered down powder, right?
No, you better not.
Oh, nah, come on, Zebo, man, get out of here, man. Zebo from down south. He got some down south concoctions and stuff like that. He be mixing up. What you be mixing up, Zebo? You know what I'm saying? I know he's doing something crazy down there.
But yeah, figure we lighten it up now because hopefully people process what we spoke about earlier. So and also let's also tell the wonderful listeners we have a wonderful lady named here, Kyesha. Did I pronounce your name right?
That's right.
Oh, because sometimes my co-host be missing the mark,
Yeah.
I'm bad with names, but since we got some time, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and if you wanted to join the podcast, you're welcome to join it whenever you want, every Sunday if you like. Like I said, we have various topics. You can also come up with some topics, and we welcome those. So so give us a little bit of information on you, a little bit of bio, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm born, raised, and educated here in Boston. I'm a mom now. Pretty much that's it. That's all I want to kind of tell anyways for right now. But the things is I'm straight Boston, I'm straight from here always. So I live here. I own property here. I'm a voter, part of the community. Worked for major companies here. I did a lot of I worked in the real estate industry for a long time. And right now I'm just really feeling my way around and looking for some happiness, trying to laugh all the time. I want to get into the comedy business, maybe voiceovers, and so I'm just tiptoeing into this industry.
Yo, you at the right place. You got your first shout out. What up, K by Matic 2010. It's 2021, buddy.
Yeah.
No, so I'm just joking with it. That's my boy. But you're in the right business. Like I said, we're gonna have some serious topics like this, and I'm glad that you guys are brave enough to talk about Black Lives Matter, because a lot of people, don't worry about it, a lot of people, like I said, are scared to even mention it or to even fight back, at places of work or places of in their community, and it just takes people like us to talk about it a little bit, maybe to wake someone else up, maybe to help somebody get through something. And then this platform as well, like I said, it gets lighter, so we can talk about movies, you can talk about our favorite cartoons. If you look at some of the reruns you see what we're talking about. It's a mix of everything, and we just like to have fun. We like to joke around. We're the biggest jokesters on the planet, man. Juan. We like to have fun. You look at us, we always laugh. That's all we do. That's why we stay young. We, you know what I mean? Our cheeks stay, rosy like Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but I want to give my women's perspective. That's all.
Here go Child Shares in the comments. Better go out and find some Zarex drink. What's Zarex drink? What's that? What's that one?
Never heard of that.
It sounds like it gave you diarrhea or something. What is Zarex?
Right.
You drink
Is the answer with Ebosec? Would it mix Gatorade with Patron and they call it Paradise? Is the answer to that?
Maybe, because he says Zebo says
Parade.
Gatorade Patron. We call it Parade.
Yep.
And then he says, better go out and find some Zarex drink. I don't know. Maybe that got to be something he drinks. That's something ghetto Chuck drink, man. Yo, what is that, Chuck? Yeah. Shout out to Chuck in the chat, man. Stop playing, man.
Like I said, I was just happy to find my Kool-Aid, and yes, I did get the pack, the 25-cent one, and they still hitting like they were, like when I was a little kid.
So, what was your favorite drink? But was your favorite drink Kool-Aid? Like mine was Tang Kool-Aid. It was like, I had like, I had the sugary drinks. My mother didn't, we had the project drinks. It was just the cheap stuff, all sugar, anything with sugar in it. You know what I'm saying?
It says that Zarex drink is a real drink. It's American sweet drink concentrate. It looks disgusting, but it looks like cough medicine.
He just said Google it. You already Googled it. We had it back in the day.
It looks like cough medicine.
Zarex drink, huh? I don't know, Chuck, man. To each his own, though.
Okay, right. All right.
For all I probably had it that can't even recall the name of it.
Yeah, you friends with Chuck. You probably was over there drinking it and didn't even know you was drinking Zarex. It sounds like a G.I. Joe character.
Now, when you look at that, you don't know if you drunk it.
Oh man, it sounded like it cleaned you out.
Yeah,
that's what it sounded like. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, it might have, because recently I tried one of those. Remember the teeny juices drink? They don't taste the same as back in the day.
The teeny weenies? The teeny weenies, they took the crack out. They took the cocaine out or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something's missing from the, like a lot of drinks back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's missing. The taste, it tastes completely different. Unless our taste buds change.
They took out an ingredient to save on money.
Just like those,
yeah.
Those 50-cent drinks used to buy, those big bottle 50 cent, they're $1 now. But I bought one. I'm like, this is just water with coloring.
Wait, you're not talking about the 50-cent drinks that we thought was making black men sterile in the hood?
Yeah, that one.
They still sell those?
Yeah. They're $1 now.
Yeah, they still. We stopped drinking those though. Remember you drinking those more?
You
don't want no kids. You don't want no kids no more.
I'm an old man. I'm done. The factory's closed.
I'm done too.
Oh, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm done too. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they invented pets. You know what I mean? You want something to take care of? Get a pet.
Right. And I got
how many pets you got?
All in the line.
Kyesha, share with the world how many pets you got. You got a couple, right?
I have 3 dogs. They're all siblings. And I have a cat, but I don't talk about the cat. The cat's aggravating.
What?
I got 3 dogs.
That's what I'm talking about. A dog person. We had a conversation about which is better, dog or cat.
One of our podcasts was cat versus dog. So I was the cat lover. He's the dog lover. And we was going back. You got to watch that one. That was funny. Are you serious? You dissing the cat?
Do what they want to do. They're not. I try to keep the cat out of places. He jumps over everything. It just does what it wants to do. It's the queen in the house. I'm like, nah, but I want to be the queen in my house. You know what I mean? Maybe men love cats. That's why. But I have it because I need it.
Oh my God.
I prefer dogs.
Yo, man. See, that was 2 against 1, man. See, here we go, man. But listen, we going time to the end of the show, man. Kyesha, you're welcome, like I said, to join the podcast. We can talk about that later. You're welcome to come on anytime you want. you're welcome to come on this platform.
I'll be back.
You're also welcome to come on my other platform that you know about as well. That's on Fridays. It's the THHC podcast, which is more about music and hip hop. So that comes on at 8 p.m. But this one here, the THHC podcast, started by me and Juan. We just wanted to bring great ideas and good information to the community, about gun safety, or how to save money, taxes, whatever it is the good subjects are. We come up with them and we figure this out, and we get everybody information. And then they give us information. They share information. The chat shares information as well. And shout out to Legion of the Knicks podcast. Go check him out. He's all about the Knicks. Like, he has a podcast about the Knicks all day. That's what it is. Shout out to my boy. Sorry for coming late. Didn't see the notification. Don't worry about it, King. You can always check it out. We can always watch the rewind.
Let me jump in real quick. Legion, we need your shirt size so we can send you this wonderful Celtic shirt. I'll send you one, brother. Come brother.
What's your style? Yeah. Exactly. Let's get him a nice Celtics shirt. Oh, hey, shit. I'm a Laker fan in Boston, so that sounds crazy, but I sent him a Laker jersey. He might accept that one though. I think he likes LeBron. I don't know.
No. I need his shirt.
He hates LeBron. He hates LeBron.
I want to send him a Celtics shirt with a matching hat.
I think a good subject for one of the times is speaking about gun licensing for us minorities in this weed era. Marijuana era, because if you have your marijuana card, you're no longer qualified to get a gun license. So legalizing marijuana is putting a monkey wrench in a lot of our protection plans, if we had any. Might be a good topic.
Oh, we already beat you to the punch. We already had that show.
Did?
We had an expert come on. And you gotta go check. That was probably episode, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, something like that. It was one of the early episodes. And really, really great podcast. He came on. We talked about the weed thing. We talked about legalization. We talked about carrying here in this state, doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? And Zebo Jones, the Laker fan too. 2020 champs, LA. That's all. I'm sorry. I got carried away. I'm a Lakers fan.
I like you, brother. I used to like you.
I got carried away in my speech, but and I see the Lakers, I go crazy. But that's my team. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna break it down. Kyesha, so like I said, when you do start selling stuff, of course, all your information will be in the chat. We're gonna put all your information in the chat so they can find you on Instagram, and then if they want to be generous, they can Cash App you or Venmo you. And this is what we do, man. We just try to get the content out there. We get good quality people to come on the show and talk and stuff like that. So if you wanna just went black a little bit, but your name's still there. Can we hear you?
Yep, you can hear me. My light just went off.
Okay, but Kyesha, so it's probably telling you to end the show. But anyway,
right, time is up.
Time's up. So
listen,
anyway,
my quarters only lasted for my minutes are gone. I need another quarter. I gotta run.
Oh Lord.
I gotta pay the machine.
Pay the machine.
Rules. Yeah.
Pay the machine. But anyway, just shout out what you maybe some kind words to the audience. And like I said, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for showing your face. Thank you for interacting with us and talking about a subject that a lot of people are sensitive about. Black Lives Matter will continue, and we will continue to fight the topic every day, every second. At least while I'm on the planet, I'll be talking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got to say, my girl? And then you can take off, and then me and Juan usually close off the show. And then if you join the show, we can close off the show together. In the future.
No, I'm fine. We can close off the show. I don't have anything else to share. I thought I had a good topic, but you got me. So next time.
So, but off the air, we'll come up with some topics. We'll figure it out. We'll do what we have to do. So Juan, what's going on? You got some kind words. You got some close out for this show. This was your idea. It's a great topic, Juan, and we need to continue to talk about this on a daily basis.
I just hope us, my generation, the older generation, teaches the younger generation to keep the movement going. Again, one of my favorite ringtones that I still got on my phone is from the movie CB4. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all.
I'm black, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all.
It's so funny because when I go around my job and I play that, they look at me sideways, but they won't say nothing but that look like, Okay.
Mhm.
No, like I said, support the podcast, support the Black Lives Matter movement. Don't let it die out. Don't let them try to bury it into. It takes another person's life to get the steam going back in it. No, let's keep it going now. Support my brother Mark and his merch. And that's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely
man.
support this podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And we got to do the same thing, so let's share it on our platforms as well. All right, guys, man. Thank you, man. If you guys usually sign off, man, we want to say, love over hate, Beantown, and just some silly things at the end. So
Mhm.
that's pretty much it, man. Thank you for coming by.
Yeesh.
Appreciate it. Peace out. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys.
All right.
No,
Bye-bye.
thanks, chat. What's up, Juan?
Oh,
What's
I
going
thought
on? We still here.
we're still
But,
live, huh? Okay.
yeah, we still live. I'm about to end it, but peace out, man. We out, man. I thought I ended it. One love. Black Lives Matter, baby.